Hey guys, STLYoungblood with you to talk to you about the Mustang, which is going to be the Consolidated Outland's second starter ship that we've seen some information about. Now, the one I'm showing you in my hangar right now is actually the Mustang Omega. This is going to be the racer variant of that series of ship. And it's said to come with ultralight alloys that are considered by some to be unsafe. So that kind of cracks me up a little bit, and I kind of look at that and say, I don't know if that's going to be the ship series as a whole, or if that's specific to this racing variant, but either way, I don't look at a description like that and say, man, this thing's going to be a badass dogfighter. Now, that can obviously change a little bit, and we've seen other ships that aren't heavily armored do well, especially when they've got some certain benefits going for them. M50. So, I mean, I'm not going to write this off and say it's a bad dogfighter. I mean, speed and agility are a lot of things, but at the same time, it's only got 6 maneuvering thrusters, according to the ship stats page, which we should all take with a grain of salt anyways. Now, if those thrusters are well placed and the ship's very light, it may end up being more maneuverable than expected, and I think based on description alone, we should probably expect this to be a fairly nimble ship. Probably nothing like the Car Through All, but something, worth noting. Now, it's supposed to come with more options for engines and thrusters while sacrificing options for weapons, hardpoints, and cargo, and that's going to be compared to the Aurora, but we might see the same thing as compared to some of the other Mustang variants when they are released. Now, again, looking at some of these ship stats, we already talked about the maneuvering thrusters, and the stock variant comes with 2x TR2 engines, and that's a lot for a ship of this size, so I would expect all of these variants to be pretty fast. Now, it doesn't specifically say what the racer, the Omega, is going to have. It may end up being the same engines and just be lighter, which results in better. It may still be TR2, which are more powerful, or it may end up being TR3s. Now, I would not expect this to go up to a TR3, but we don't really know. I think we're just going to need to expect this to actually be pretty fast. Ship carries 0 cargo. Max shield size is 2, which is pretty low, but the max power plant is size 3. Decent for a ship of this size, and if it's only got a shield size of 2, we may end up seeing the ability to put a lot of power towards those engines constantly. And then as far as the hardpoints go, it's got a class 1. On the stock Mustang, it says that it comes with 2x size 2. Whereas the Mustang Omega actually just says that it comes with 2x2x. And so we don't really know what the details are going to be. Now, on all the concept images, we've seen that iconic bulldog repeater that we've seen on so many of the ships and we've become really familiar with. And it kind of makes sense to have a weapon like that, a high rate of fire, lower damage weapon on a fast ship that's supposed to be kind of nimble and agile. And then it says it's got a class 4 option, 1 coming soon. Now, I don't know if that may end up not being an option on this at all. You may end up only getting 2 weapons on this ship. But the class 4 could be a couple things. It could be a tractor beam, but that in my mind doesn't make a lot of sense for a ship that carries no cargo. You could maybe add on a store-all box like we've seen from the Aurora series, but again, I don't necessarily see that fitting in here that well. Or it could be weapons, and I'm going to show some images from some of the other Mustang variants where there's actually an additional mount that comes down below the cockpit that looks to be an articulated weapons mount. So you might be able to end up adding 2 more weapons to this. The Mustang that's in my hangar doesn't appear to have that same mount that we actually can see in the images, so maybe it's just something that's not developed yet, maybe it's not built in, or maybe the ship's just not going to get it at all. That mounting location appears to be blocked by maybe an intake or something that's specific to racing, so my hunch is that this variant isn't going to actually get that class 4, at least in that location. It may get something somewhere else though. I'm going to try and do a little bit more research and follow the Mustang a little bit to see if we know more information about that, but at this point, I don't know more about it. So that's pretty much it for now. I just wanted to take a little tour, a little walk around so you could actually see it, get a little bit more imagery of the ship, especially now that it's in the hangar. And as soon as this is flyable, which I wouldn't be surprised if it came, here at the end of December when we're expecting to see version 1 of Arena Commander, I'll put up some reviews on how I think the thing actually performs. So, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Otherwise, stay tuned for more, and I will talk to you guys later. Take care.